Regarding the game in Nebraska, really difficult place to play. Almost positive it was sold out, right? And they play that way, and specifically in the first half, first 10 minutes, I thought they played really well. I thought when we focused on defending and rebounding, we did a better job. And if we're focused on those areas rather than scoring, well, good defense leads to offense. And I felt like we did that in the first, 8 to 10 minutes of the second half. So we have to continue to improve. There's a lot of room for growth. We watched film yesterday together as a team. There's still little things that we can improve and we can get better in. And I keep telling them, guys, this is scary, but I'm going to keep saying this. We can get a heck of a lot better. And I look forward to going on this journey, this quest, this mission with you to finding the best team that we can be by the end of the year, whatever that is, wherever that puts us. So I'm excited to go back to work today, and I look forward to the great challenge that's ahead of us on Tuesday.
Can you speak to the importance of depth to what you've been able to do this season?
Look, if you look at the minutes played by Lamar Stevens over his career, at this point he'd be darn near 40 minutes a game in the Big Ten for sure. And the fact that he's only just a little bit under 30 in the Big Ten play, specifically the last 4 games, he's only at 29 and change. So the fact that speaks volumes right there. That means if he's in foul trouble or we need to rest him, that I believe and I have faith and trust in the guys that we're bringing off the bench. And then our guards are fresh. MJ's playing significant minutes, Jamari's significant minutes, but not where they could have been with Miles playing much better. He's playing starter minutes. Brock and Curtis are right around that 20-minute mark in the last 4. I'm looking at the winning streak right now, okay? So I think that depth has really helped us, and I think that's going to help us moving forward.
And since you shuffled the lineup a little bit, I think it's 4 of your top 6 scorers come off the bench. How do you resist the urge when you see somebody have 17 rebounds in a game? Well, maybe, I need to get him out there more, but it's working. But how do you, because coaches are kind of infamous for wanting to shuffle things around.
And don't get me wrong, I'm one of those guys that does like to see if there's a better team within the team. I feel like we can still get better. I'm going to keep saying that until we hit on all cylinders. We haven't hit on all cylinders, not yet anyway. So I'm always looking at it. I'm always studying the analytics of it. I'm always looking, gut feel too, human nature of where guys' heads are and where guys' bodies are. I mean, don't get me wrong, 17 rebounds, a double-double. I mean, he played really well. And I thought Miles looked like his old self. He played with incredible confidence. Now, with saying that, is it because they're coming off the bench and not in foul trouble and seeing the game a little bit? There's a little pressure taken off both guys. And you know what? Seth Lundy, I think, is doing a really good job playing bigger guards. He's going to have to play a bigger guard tomorrow night in Henry. I think our matchups, we got pretty good matchups, which bodes well. But I think Seth Lundy's been giving us real good productivity. He's rebounding the ball well. He hits a timely 3, so it stretches the defense a little bit so we can, get the ball inside or driving lanes. So right now, Mark, I like where we are.
Hey, Coach. A few weeks ago, you had mentioned, playing with the target on your back. It was after you had just dropped out of the top 25, and you were talking about just the challenges that accompany that. You all are back in that top 25, and I was wondering, is there a different approach to coaching? With having those expectations, with yourself or with the players, or how do you approach things knowing that you do have that target on your back again now?
I think it's different the second time around. After Iowa, I'm not sure we handled it well all the way around, and a lot of noise, a lot of distractions, and I felt like we fell prey a little bit. And now we've been ranked for over a week now, and I think it's just about us getting better. Us coming closer together, that connectivity, that trust that you need in the locker room to be able to go on the road and win at Michigan, to be able to go to the road. We've never wanted, for me, Michigan or Nebraska. So to go on the road and win those games pretty convincingly is showing where our mindset is, and our mindset needs to stay there. It needs to stay in the growth mindset because we can get a lot better.
Coach, how often or how much of a chance do you get to kind of emphasize just having fun playing basketball? Because in that second half against Nebraska, guys are throwing up alley-oops. It looked like the guys on the bench, all had huge smiles on their faces. How often of a chance do you get to do that?
I do it more than you think, and I know what people perceive of me. But before every game, I tell them to have fun. Before every game, before we break the locker room, have fun. Before we break a huddle to tip off the game, hey, make sure we have fun tonight. Because you got to have fun. Because if you're playing under stress, worry, fear, you're going to find the other result. And that's not what you want. You want to go out there. We worked on it in practice. We've worked on it in film session. We're learning. We're getting better. Now, you know what? Go enjoy this moment with this special group of guys.
How does Cassius Winston compare to a guy you've coached in the past, and Kyle Lowry?
Wow, that's a good question. Cassius probably a better shooter at this stage in his career. I'm not saying Kyle couldn't shoot. He could. Kyle was a winner, and I think Cassius is a winner. I think Cassius has really a great understanding of when he needs to score, and then when he makes everybody better around him. It's so fun to break down film and watch this kid operate in just different ways, off pin screens, off ball screens, but just pushing the ball in general. Terrific player, but just different as far as where they are in their careers right now. But winners is definitely something that it jumps off the screen. He's always making a winning play.
Pat, they mentioned during the broadcast on Saturday that Lamar was going to have a children's book. Where does that come from, and does it kind of show a different side of Lamar that maybe we don't get a chance to see?
I think that was a collective effort by staff, our great basketball staff, and Coach Ergo and Lamar. And I think it's just an incredible idea. We have a day of awesomeness, if I'm correct.
Everybody is awesome.
Everybody is awesome coming up. Even you guys are awesome on that day. And that's next Saturday. So I think it's great. And I saw the book and I paged through it, and you just get welled up because I'm blessed to have 4 healthy children. And then when you look at that, you just want to do whatever you can to make that day awesome, but every day moving forward, whatever we can do to help, the Buddy Walk and Special Olympics and things like that.
To let you guys know, we are working on having Lamar media availability on Thursday. So we'll get that time to you. It's probably going to be early afternoon.
Pat, Cassius Winston's going to be a main focus on this Michigan State team, but one thing that I think a lot of people have noticed about him over the course of his career is, his capability of getting the rest of the team involved and how he, runs Michigan State's offense. So with that being said, how much of an emphasis do you place on slowing him down, or is it what he, does for them as a collective team, kind of like as that engine?
Yeah, I think it's about us. Again, Cassius is one of the best point guards in the country. Tillman's playing at a very high level. Henry, got great young talent. Watts. I think for us, it's got to be about us and how we defend and how we rebound. They're one of the best rebounding teams in the country and the Big Ten. So it's really about what we need to do to be able to try to go and win a game on the road. I mean, we can't start doing things that we haven't done in weeks, is what I'm saying, during that little stretch where we had a couple speed bumps. We have to, in our last 4 games here, I mean, we're playing some of our best defensive basketball. I mean, we're 37% defensive field goal percentage, 30% defending to 3, rebounding, we're +1. What a change. We absolutely flipped the script, which was once our Achilles heel is now turning to becoming more of a positive. So if we go out and we play Penn State basketball, defend and rebound, fly around the floor with discipline, you just want to be, 4 minutes ago, you want to be in a 1-possession game. And if we can do that, we give ourselves a chance.
You've talked a lot about the goal being making the tournament over the years, but we have not talked a lot about the opportunity to win the actual conference itself. You win tomorrow night, you are at least in that conversation in February. Where does that kind of enter into your brain, if you allow it to enter your brain at all?
I would be, I wouldn't be transparent if I didn't say I've thought about it. Sure, I'm a human being. I'm the head coach. I've been here a long time. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. But it's nice to be in this situation. It's great to be where we are right now as opposed to where we were in the past. And again, I'm not trying to think about the past. I'm trying to stay present. I'm trying to stay in the moment. There's 10 games, 10 total games, and a lot can happen in those 10 games. A lot. I think it's going to get wild. I think it's going to get crazy here down the stretch. That's why we just have to control what we can control. And we are in control of our destiny. We are. So as long as we go play Penn State basketball, give ourselves a chance, we'll see what happens.
Pat, you've mentioned now a few times that you wanted to improve in the rebounding and largely have done that recently. I'm curious, rebounding is a skill that's different than shooting and dribbling, where a lot of it comes from the hustle aspect. So how do you get better at rebounding in the middle of the season?
We talk about it all the time. It's a 1-2. It doesn't take talent to rebound. You have to go find bodies and go pursue the ball. It's got to be the focus. Sometimes guys' focus is on scoring, where the focus needed to be on rebounding, because guess what? When you finish plays on the defensive end, you score on the other end. So maybe just flipping the mindset to the defensive end and really finishing plays. I didn't think our defense was horrific during that week, that speed bump week. It just, we didn't finish plays. So finishing plays, making it a priority. And I still do some rebounding drills. I still do some rebounding drills, as well as, we talk about it. And we know that when we rebound well, we have a better chance of winning.
Is there a sweet spot for Miles in terms of three-point attempts?
What do you mean?
For a game. It just seems like he's...
Is it like attempts? Like 8 to 10 attempts? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No. Play basketball. I think that's one thing our guys are doing, and I think one of you guys just mentioned it. In Nebraska, we looked like we were having fun and just playing. But we were playing with amazing confidence. I think they know they're not going to get pulled out. I mean, if you take a bad shot, all right. But they know that they don't have to look towards me after a shot. They know that I want them to take really good uncontested shots, whether it's a three, a layup, or I'm old school. I still like pull-ups. So.
And then with him, the last couple of games, not only has he made shots, threes, but some of them have been pretty timely.
Yeah.
What's the impact of that in a game for him to hit?
He's 8 for 20 in the last 4. He's 40%.
Right.
So I think the more he sees the ball go in the basket, the better he's going to feel. I don't remember the last time he took 10 attempts, 10 shots from 3 in a game. It's been a while. It's been a little
November. But
yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. Thank you, Nate.
You're welcome. I looked it up.
Even when Jamari's not putting up big numbers, it feels like, especially over this 4-game stretch, he's kind of been a tone setter on both ends of the floor, just buzzing around on defense, running the floor on fast breaks. How have you kind of seen him develop into this role over this little winning streak here?
Yeah, I think he's playing some of his best basketball, particularly the last 2 games, with Fanisi from Indiana and Cam Mack from Nebraska. I thought he set the tone for us for the game on some jump ball situation where he's going to dig it out and give us the first possession. But I thought his defense, his energy, his communication level, his toughness, our pace on offense is because of him. I mean, he's right up there. Is he leading the league in steals? Because I don't check that.
Jamari, yes.
He's got 9 steals in the last 4 games. Again, I'm just giving you the last 4. 14 assists, 7 turnovers. It's pretty good. I think he's playing great basketball. And you know what? I never tell him not to shoot. I never tell him not to shoot. I know you guys are looking at me like, hey, he made 2 threes. I don't tell him not to. I just tell him to take good ones. And I felt like the 2 that he made, they were in rhythm, wide open, they were good shots where we're going to have rebounders down there. So he's got to pick and choose those opportunities.
You keep mentioning that you don't think this team has hit sort of its peak yet. Is there something to hitting that peak at the right time, and what do you need to do to get to that peak?
I just think a complete game. I know as coaches we're always looking for perfection, and it's probably never going to happen, right? But it's that quest or that journey to try to reach it that we always go on, and we always show up every single day to develop those habits. To pursue being the best defensive team that we can be and being the best rebounding team we can be, and then sharing the ball. It's something Michigan State does a great job of sharing the basketball on the offensive end. I think we're getting closer and closer to a complete game, but we're still a little bit of ways. And I think our guys know that, and I think they're striving for that as well.
A couple of weeks ago, we were talking about fouls, taking your best players off the floor. Do you feel like that's improved over the last couple of weeks, and how do you feel like you made those improvements?
So it's flipped now. We've taken more free throws attempted than our opponent over the last 2 weeks. A little while ago, that wasn't the case. If you look at it all the way through the 6 and 4, it's still going to say the opponent's taking more free throws. But we have corrected that as of right now. We still have some road games here, so you don't know. But I think we're playing hard, we're playing together. We're not playing perfect, but it's hard together, and we're trying our best not to foul.
How much, when you're watching film in preparation for a week like this, we've got Michigan State, and then you got, a team like Minnesota that beat you guys. How much do you take those first 10 and a half minutes of the second half against Nebraska, in film room and kind of freeze it and say, this is what I'm looking for? Because in those 10 and a half minutes, at least from the broadcast view, it looked like you guys just played them off the floor, basically. So how much do you say, you talked about hitting your peak, but in my eyes, that's 10 minutes of the best basketball this team's played all season.
Yeah, 10 minutes though, right? The game's 40. So if we can do that for 40, I'll go back to Iowa at the Palestra. I mean, that was one of the best basketball games I've ever been involved in my career as a player, coach, assistant, whatever. And I thought it wasn't like we played bad defensively. They made tough shots. It wasn't like they played bad defensively. We made tough shots. It was just one of those games that was just back and forth. It was like a heavyweight fight. So if we can kind of couple the offensive side of the Iowa game, but get stops and rebounds, I think that's what it looks like. And I think you're right, that 10 minutes gives you a little idea, a glimpse into the future of what it could look like. And that's what we have to strive for. But in my film sessions, I show the positives and teachable moments. So we do a little bit of both to keep us engaged.
Any other questions for Coach Perfect?
Just one more. I don't think that you've won 5 Big Ten games in a row.
Kiss of death. Thanks, Nate. Let's end on that.
What I'm asking is momentum real, and what does it look like?
Momentum is, I believe, is real. I'm always, during that speed bump week, I was trying to change momentum in game with certain plays I was running, execution-wise, to try to swing the momentum back to our way. Defensively, maybe doing something a little bit different, a little bit more aggressive to swing momentum. I'm a firm believer in momentum. I do believe we have momentum right now, and we got to capture it and we got to keep it. And you do that by putting your walls up and staying focused on this day right here. We have practice in about 90 to 2 hours. We got to make sure that's the best practice that we have. And then, God willing, we get to Michigan State and we got to go out and compete and not listen to any of the noise or anything that's going on the outside. And if we can do that, we'll give ourselves a chance. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.